It's such a shame Inspector Derwent didn't want our help. Herbert has an excellent sense of smell. If there was an intruder in the garden, then I'm sure he would have been able to pick up the villain's scent and track him down, insisted Margaret, as they made their way down to the embankment, the 3 dogs running on ahead, scattering pigeons in every direction. "Has Mr. Gaskell always lived alone?" asked Dorothy, keen to move the conversation on from Herbert's nose. Margaret shook her head and smiled. "No, his grandson Paul used to live with him. He's now a lieutenant in the Royal Berkshire Regiment, I believe. Such a lovely young man and so patriotic. He enlisted as soon as war was declared. His parents both died when they were out in India, and he was only a boy. His father was Mr. Gaskell's only son, and Paul is his only grandchild." Mrs. Platt, the cook, mentioned a nephew named Gerald. The face Margaret made when she heard his name told Dorothy her friend didn't think as highly of Gerald as she did Paul. "Yes, that's right," she replied. "Oh, and there is Emily, although she isn't really a relative. She was Mr. Gaskell's ward, the daughter of a business associate of his. I forget her exact circumstances. She used to live with Hector and Paul, but she's married to Gerald now. Their wedding was last year, about the same time as Paul's 21st birthday, not that there was much of a celebration for either. As you could probably see from the house, Mr. Gaskell didn't believe in extravagance of any kind." She dabbed at her nose with a handkerchief. "Still, he never forgot to feed the birds. I shall rather miss him." They had reached the river now. Margaret's 3 dogs were barking at another dog standing on top of one of the barges moored there. The black, shaggy-haired creature began snapping and snarling in response. Margaret immediately gave a sharp whistle, and Skip, Topsy and Herbert all came bounding back. "Would you like to join me for breakfast, Dorothy?" asked Margaret as they returned to Cheney Row. "No, thank you, Margaret. I don't have much of an appetite." "Really? Gosh, I'm absolutely famished. Come along, boys. I think we've all earned kippers this morning."